Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very fun and special video. I have my roommate Megan here.
Hey.
And she is so kind enough for me to do her makeup. So this video I'm going to be doing her makeup, and I'm also going to be doing a voiceover because we're going to jam out while we do this tutorial. And we have a really fun, exciting look. She literally texted me the day of, today, and she was like, "Can you do this for me?" And I'm like, okay. So I'm kind of freestyling right now with this look, and we're kind of going off of a whim right now. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media so you can see all the pictures of her beautiful makeup after on all my social media. So thanks again for coming back to my channel, and I will see you in the video. Bye guys!
Alright, to prep her skin for foundation, we're going to start off with the Smashbox Face Primer, and this is just the clear basic one, and this is going to help the texture on her skin be very soft. And then we're going to move into foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be using my all-time favorite, the Gorigo Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 4, light color with golden undertones. I'm going to be pushing that really well into her skin using a flat top brush from Morphe, my absolute favorite brush for foundation. To blend out the foundation and to push it in more, I'm going to be using my damp beauty blender and pushing that onto her skin all over her face. I'm now going to drag the foundation down her neck just so we can match her natural skin coloring with what's left of her fake tan. Now I'm using Derma color to correct her under eyes and to hide all the discoloration. Definitely use a finger because this is a very thick cream and it needs a lot of warmth to blend it out. Moving on to one of my favorite parts of doing makeup on other people is highlighting their face. Kind of weird, but I love it. And I'm going to be mixing two concealers to get her perfect shade. The first shade I'm using was Tarte Shape Tape, and it was a little too yellow for my liking, so I mixed it in with a Urban Decay concealer in a neutral color that had a bit more pink in it, so it contrasted the yellow tones and really came out to a beautiful highlight on her skin. And I will have the names and shade colors of all the products in the description bar down below. And again, I'm mixing those two concealer shades on her chin, the bridge of the nose, and her forehead to get her perfect highlight, and I'm going to blend in and push the product in with a beauty blender. Now we're going to do some cream contouring, and I'm going to be using my Sleek Cream Contour Palette, and I'm using the middle shade to do most of the contouring on her face. I like to use more of a neutral, kind of a cool coloring for my contouring just so it looks more like a shadow. And I'm going to be placing that color on the chin and on her cheekbones. And then for her forehead, that's where I'm going to do more bronzing instead of contouring, and I'm using a more warmer shade for that. And then we're going to start blending out the contours, and I'm going to be using my Real Techniques foundation buffing brush, which I really like using this for blending out cream products. It works so well, which is very shocking because everybody uses this for foundation, not really for blending out creams. But I'm just blending out her product until there's no more line and it just smooths into her skin very nicely. And again, with the same technique I've been using with the Beauty Blender, I'm using the Beauty Blender to push the product into her skin and to also overall blend out all the products, just so the contour, bronzer, highlighter, and foundation all seamlessly mesh together so nothing is just standing out. Now that we are finished with all the cream and liquid products, I'm going to start setting her face. And I'm going to set her highlighted areas with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I like to use a beauty blender and tap it in. I don't like to leave it out and just bake, just so it's very flawless and there's no powder residue left over from baking. Alright, this is something I normally don't do, but I decided to give it a try. I'm using the RCMA no color powder to set her entire face, and I think her face turned out pretty well. It didn't leave a white overlay cast, so yeah, I really liked how it turned out. And then we're going to move on to eyes, so I'm going to prime with the best eyeshadow primer out there, which is the Nars smudge proof eyeshadow base. And then we're going to move straight into brows, and I'm first combing through them, and we're going to fill them out first using the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and this one is just in medium brown, I believe, which matched her brow hairs pretty nicely. And she already has a very nice shape to her brows. I'm just helping out the arch a little bit by filling it in a tad bit more. And we're going to do the same thing on the other brow, and we're going to start by filling in from the front and go all the way down to her tail, and we're just going to fill it in from the bottom so we can get a nice shape going. And then we're going to grab an Anastasia powdered brow shadow, and we're going to use an angled brush to help fill it in a bit more. I'm not putting in a ton of powder just because I don't want her brows to be too intense. I want to keep them pretty natural because she likes her brows to be pretty natural. And then we're going to set the brows in place using the Anastasia brow gel. And I'm brushing them upward to give more of a clean cut look. And then we're going to cut out the brows using a concealer that's a little bit lighter than her face, so we can also highlight her brows as well, just so we can lift up the eyes. And I'm going to be blending the concealer in with my favorite brush from Morphe. I'll have that linked down in the description bar because I honestly can't remember the name. And I'm also going to drag the concealer down her lid and set it with the RCMA no color powder. This is the picture of inspiration that she wanted me to recreate for her, and she found that picture on Pinterest if you guys are curious. So I'm starting out by doing a little bit of crease work with a Ben Nye eyeshadow. It's just a very light taupe color. In the picture she didn't have a lot of crease action, so I wanted to keep the crease colors pretty light but also make sure she did have a defined crease. And then I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with charcoal brown from MAC. I'm not putting in a ton, and really I'm focusing on blending out if anything. This look was a very blended out makeup, so that's something I really did focus on, was just placing a little bit of color and then taking my time and blending it out. And then we're going to start putting in the blues, which I was so excited to do blue eyeshadow because not a lot of my clients say, put blue eyeshadow on me, so this was super fun. And I'm using this crease brush to give out more of a blown out look, and so it wasn't super harsh and I could blend out the blue a lot easier. And this blue is from Makeup Geek and it's called Blueberry. It's an amazing blue and it blends out super nicely. And I'm placing that on the outer and inner corners of her eye. And then we're going to deepen up the blue using a blue color from a Too Faced palette, which I'll have in the description bar. And then we're just going to blend it out so the crease isn't super harsh and it's not a cutout look. It's again going to be a super blended out makeup. Now we're going to do the center of the lid with a Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow. I wanted something metallic so that gold could really stand out and really pop on her eyes. But I really wanted something more popping, so I put a little dazzle shadow from MAC on the center to add a bit more zazz. And then we're going to take that light taupe color that we used first and place that underneath her eyes. And then we're going to use a small shading brush from MAC to place the blue underneath her eyes. And I'm going to keep that as close to her lashes as possible because I don't want her under eyes to be super blue. I just want it to be very defined. And I'm taking that blending brush and blending underneath the blue, not on top, so it's seamless and we don't disrupt the color where we placed it. And then I'm going to do the center with that same eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, and I'm putting that in the center. So sorry I forgot to zoom out for this part, but I'm just bronzing her face up with the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Bronzer, and I'm placing that on her forehead and a little bit on the back part of her cheekbones. And of course blending it down her neck just so she is a little bit more tan, because she wants to be more tan. And then we're going to contour using the Hoola bronzer, favorite contour ever. And I'm using this brand new brush from Morphe that I've been absolutely loving. And I'm just contouring her cheekbones and her jaw and underneath her chin. And I will also be contouring her nose with the same product, the Hoola bronzer. And I'm only doing a little bit because she already has a pretty small nose. And then we're going to go in with blush. I'm going to be using Benefit Coralista. And then for highlight, I'm mixing the Jaclyn Hill Holiday palette from last year. It's Pearl and Champagne Pop. And we're placing that on the inner corners as well and on the Cupid's bow too. For her lips, I'm going to be using this year's MAC Holiday Lip Collection in nude. It's either nude or red that they have, and the nude one just really spoke to me. And I really wanted to use it for her lips today, so I'm using the lip liner to line her lips and then going in with that matching lipstick to fill in her lips. And then we're also going to do the halo method on her lips just to match the eyes as well. So then I'm going in with the permanent lipstick from MAC called Creme de Nude, and I'm placing that on the center of her lips on the bottom and on the top. And to add a bit more highlight to the center of her lips, I'm going to be taking the lip gloss that came in that nude set, and we're going to place that on the very center. And that does have a little glitter in it, so her lips were popping with this.
Oh my god, that's so pretty. Okay. Oh my god, you're so pretty. Okay.